At this stage, the pony is lying on its right-hand side, and we have a look at the left-hand, pretty much the left-hand abdominal topography. The base of the cecum is where it is approximately in the, the apex of the cecum is approximately where it is in the animal, and then the left ventral and left dorsal colon have flapped down onto the table. These bits of ascending colon would be sitting approximately over the viscera. With the ascending colon out of the way, we can see several bits of both small and large intestine. We can pull up a long mesentery, and in fact this is mesocolon, and this very long descending colon going down to the rectum, filled with fecal material. The sacculated appearance is due to fairly well-formed fecal balls at this stage. If we have a look in the mesentery, you can see mesenteric blood vessels. Particularly you can see here the mesenteric veins. The arteries are smaller and will be running adjacent to the veins, and again this pony is in moderate condition, a moderate amount of fat in the mesenteric deposited in the mesentery. If it were a fatter animal, there would be a lot more fat in the mesentery. At the root of the mesentery we can see some lymphoid tissue, mesenteric lymph nodes. There's a lymph node, there's a lymph node, there's some more lymph node there. It's probably worth zooming in just on those mesenteric lymph nodes. And what we can see is, what this also demonstrates very beautifully, is the segmental blood supply to segments of descending colon. These vessels, these veins draining into a much larger vein at the root of the mesentery. Within that mesentery as well, we would find the caudal mesenteric artery, which is supplying most of this, which is supplying this descending colon with its arterial blood supply. If we keep that descending colon out the way, what we can see now are loops, lots of loops, numerous loops of jejunum, and again loops of jejunum suspended by their mesojejunum and with a segmental blood supply. And particularly what we can see now at that root of the mesentery are some very, very big mesenteric lymph nodes. There's a big mesenteric lymph node, there's another mesenteric lymph node there. Again, those are probably worth a zoom, just to illustrate those nodes in that root of the mesentery. Move jejunum out the way and move the descending colon out the way. We can see more cranial part of the abdomen, and particularly what we can see now is spleen, stomach, liver, and again diaphragm attached to the costal arch. We've cut through the diaphragm on the right side of the pony, so my hand is now in the thoracic cavity, and my hand is in the thoracic cavity just pulling the intact left side of the diaphragm caudally. Also, we can see, if we flap the spleen out the way, we can see the left kidney, and we can see the attachment of that spleen to the left kidney through that nephrosplenic ligament. We're tugging the nephrosplenic ligament there, and the kidney, if we do some blunt dissection, that's great. If we do some blunt dissection of the surrounding fat, we can see that left kidney. Typical shape of the left kidney, pulling it back, and we can now see a ureter. Again, the pony is still lying on its right hand side, and what we can see now is this basic arrangement of the simple stomach and its relationship to spleen, kidney, diaphragm. Remember that the spleen is attached to the greater curvature of the liver by the gastrosplenic ligament. As I pull the spleen out the way, what we can see now is that gastrosplenic ligament running between spleen, running and attaching to or originating from the greater curvature of that stomach. Remember that the gastrosplenic ligament is part of the greater omentum, so we have not only gastrosplenic ligament but the free edge of the greater omentum, which I've pulled apart, and I'm flapping over some of the intestinal viscera here. But again, just to illustrate, holding the spleen up, that greater omentum being continuous with its more proximal bit forming the gastrosplenic ligament. And a fair amount of greater omentum. Notice its free edge. Putting the spleen back in place, what we can see also is that the greater curvature of the stomach is always lying against left-hand body wall. That's constant, irrespective of what mammal you're dealing with. That greater curvature is always against left-hand body wall. Spleen will be on the left-hand half of the abdomen. What we'll have a look at here is just the intra-abdominal bit of the spermatic cord. We have here the internal inguinal ring and the spermatic cord, and if I pull on that spermatic cord, what we can actually see is that we can pull that testicle right into the abdomen. There's the fairly tight inguinal ring, but if we pull gently, we've got some testicle there we go. We've pulled that testicle through the inguinal canal into the abdominal cavity.